The Measuring Show.
Since 1970, MPB has been enriching the lives of Mississippians.
Everything we do gives us the chance to grow and learn.
With your support, we are always there whenever and wherever you need us. Together through the years, together in the future. Please consider making a donation at mpbfoundation.org. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Every parent wants their child to grow, to explore, and to dream big. At MPB, we're proud to support families and teachers across Mississippi with trusted educational programming and resources that inspire learning and spark imagination. From PBS Kids Favorites to digital tools and early learning support, MPB is here for young minds, engaged classrooms, and families who believe in the power of learning at every age. Empowering families, inspiring learners. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Good morning. Welcome to Deep South Dining right here on MPB Think Radio. Malcolm White with the one and only Carol Palmer, my skillet buddy.
Hey, skillet buddy. How you doing?
All right.
You know, for all the people out in Radio Land, especially the YouTubers, check out Malcolm's outfit today. Malcolm is fine. This is what we call sartorial splendor. Where are you going? Y'all dressed up and somewhere to go.
Yeah, after this, I go to UMMC for the big check presentation from Howe's St. Patty's Parade. We'll be presenting our money raised from the 2025 parade. We're going to be handing them $205,000 this morning.
Not a bad day's take.
Not a bad run. Not a bad run at all.
Yeah, help a lot of kids.
Indeed. So, what's been going on, Carol? It's been a minute.
Mal, it's just too much. That's all I can say.
Can't talk about it.
All I can say is it's been too much.
It's been a lot.
As you know, John hadn't been feeling well for a few weeks and had surgery, so my cooking has been minimal. Yeah. However, my coping has been serious, and I posted something. I mean, the man had been eating oatmeal and not wanting food for a couple of weeks and perked up one afternoon and would have nothing but Vienna sausage.
Well, he's from Corinth.
I know. Well, I've tried to be a spam-free and Vienna sausage-free household, but the spam thing hadn't worked for me. But So I tried all these different things to pacify him.
Nothing but the Vienna sausages.
Nothing but the Vienna sausage. So I had to head to the Dollar General.
Oh, boy.
As we are 25 minutes from a grocery store. And I'm happy to say there were 3 full shelves of Vienna sausage.
It's a big item.
They were
big
flavors.
Item out there.
And they're $1 a can. Who knew?
What a
Anyway.
So you loaded up.
Well, some people I know
sausages.
are grossed out, but the point in bringing this up was I posted about my coping with Vienna sausage, and my goodness, there was 161 likes, and then just so many comments that I got dizzy, and the comments were hysterical.
As they should be.
It's some people said, well, where I grew up, we called them Viennies. And I remember...
Vieners.
Yeah, Vieners. And Dorothy Howarth in Oxford said, charcuterie. And I decided Viennas are redneck charcuterie.
That's right.
And let's see. And then Lisa Summit said, Vienna sausage will bring your cat back from the dead. What do you think she meant by that?
Or kill your cat.
It could. And then my last one, and this is really, really something I encourage everybody, all 8,000 people on Cooking and Coping, please go read Jeff Sebold's post. He is a man of the Vienna and published a reel from Facebook on something called the struggle loaf. And when you've got struggles, this is what you eat. Somebody put 15 cans of Vienna sausage in a food processor, smushed it up, put some mac and cheese in it, and baked. It was horrible. There's a recipe that Jeff is going to try for a struggle loaf.
Okay.
So hats off to the Vienna.
Absolutely. Now, I was up at Pickwick Lake with a group of old friends. It was a Northeast Mississippi Community College reunion of sorts from the classes of about 67 to about 71. That was the time in which I was there at Northeast. So we had a great gathering, a 2-day event, and the first night, the Friday night, we all gathered at the internationally renowned Catfish Hotel on the banks of the Tennessee River at Counce, Tennessee, just outside of Corinth.
Of course. So there on the Mississippi-Tennessee line.
That's right. That's right. Well, we were staying on the state line, and that's where most of the activities for the reunion were. But I love the Catfish Hotel. They have some of the best catfish I've ever eaten. I always get the whole fish, not the fillets, not the baked. And my friend Hudson Hickman and I really enjoyed reminiscing about going to the old hotel before it burned and they built a new facility. But I heard while I was eating my catfish, someone told me a story, don't know if it's true or not, that Holiday Inn bought the Hush Puppy recipe from the Catfish Hotel back in the day because it was so renowned. And so Holiday Inn used it in all their restaurants. And the key ingredient, what do you think the key ingredient in the Hush Puppies were that made theirs special?
Cayenne?
No, beer.
Beer?
They use beer for their liquid.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so that's great.
I'm just hoping that story is true, and I'm hoping that Holiday Inn paid them a lot of money for that recipe. But
absolutely.
They're
really good Hush Puppies, by the way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So speaking of very good, Rick Cleveland and I were chatting yesterday. Yesterday. It wasn't yesterday. It was Saturday. He had gone to Dugan's and gotten a couple of soft-shell crabs.
Oh, yeah.
And he was
Tis the season.
Quizzing me on preparation because John had advised him to use a egg white wash for his soft-shell crabs. And Rick was asking me what I thought. And I told him he'd be a fool not to try it.
Yeah, if John Lester recommended it, of course.
So Rick proceeded to use the egg white wash and penne his soft shells and sent me a picture. And I asked him how they were. And he said, as his brother Bobby would say, they did not suck.
Well, that sounds just like a great description. It sounds just like what Bobby Cleveland would say. And I want to remind you that when we were doing our Chinese cooking a couple of weeks ago,
a week or two ago,
we used egg white in both marinades. We
sure did. Both the beef.
Yeah, and the chicken,
used
egg whites, like 2 egg whites and some cornstarch and
some other
stuff.
things.
And as you would say, let's put some stuff in there.
So on my way to Pickwick, I stopped in Tupelo and ate at Johnny's Drive-In, the legendary Johnny's Drive-In. I had the Johnny Burger and joined some old friends, John Raspberry and his significant other, D, and we had a feast there at Johnny's. Johnny's is where Elvis used to go as a child. It's in East Tupelo, and there's an actual Elvis booth where Elvis is photographed eating as a teenager. And of course, we sat in the Elvis booth, and then I went to the birthplace and visited with the King for a few minutes. So that was a good stop off. I also stopped off in West Point, which I am often known to do, to get tea at McAllister's. And when I do that, I always think about Chef Enrica Williams, who is from
West Point.
From West Point, Mississippi.
But I want to go back to Johnny's for just a minute in
Please.
Tupelo. I just wanted to remind you that we have been talking now for about 3 years about doing a live broadcast of Deep South Dining from the Elvis booth at Johnny's.
That's right. And we have had them on. We've interviewed them.
Yes.
But we've never gone live there, which we need to do, Marissa. You need to put it
I'm writing it down right now.
Put it on the list. Put it on the list. And hey, speaking of Marissa, we're not going to be here live next week.
Oh,
And
we're not.
We're not going to be here because it is Memorial Day. And so I've asked our producer to talk a little bit about Memorial Day and its history.
Right. Well, I always love to bring it up because I did spend about a decade in Columbus, Mississippi, and I consider it a home. And one of the things that I learned while I was there was that Columbus, Mississippi is considered at least one of the first places to recognize Decoration Day, which is now Memorial Day. And let's see, in 1866, I believe, there were women from Columbus who went to Friendship Cemetery, which is a big deal. There's a lot of very old graves and a lot of Civil War graves. And they decorated all of the graves, including those of the Union soldiers, just as respect for all of those who fought in the Civil War. And so it has, gone on, and it's been recognized by the entire country as Memorial Day now.
There you go. There you have it. And hey, speaking of Rick Cleveland, Carol, I wanted to point out that Rick and I will be making a presentation at the Max in Meridian on June 7th at 11 a.m. in the morning. Something Rick and I have been talking about doing. It's a presentation about athletes who are also artists and artists who are also athletes.
I hate your guts for getting to do that.
It sounds fun.
You might as well move to Meridian.
Not happening. Not happening. I do love the Queen City. Another event I want to remind our listeners of is Leanne Galt and I will be presenting at the Catfish Alley Museum in Vicksburg on July the 12th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It is their Chef Summer Series. And, of course, the chef will be preparing the food, Leanne Galt. And we're still marinating on what we're going to present. But put it on your calendars for
I've got it
July
on my
12th,
calendar.
2 o'clock in the
and
afternoon.
I'll be there.
And so there. And then, Carol, there's one other thing. Catholic Charities is presenting their Bishop's Ball on July the 19th.
And guess who they're honoring?
Well, two people that are important here. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Mississippi.
Who does an incredible amount
Right.
for
And
the
moi.
whole state.
And moi.
And Malcolm.
So that's
two worthy entities.
very excited about being involved with Catholic Charities and the Bishop's Ball on July 19 at the two museums.
You never know, the new pope may show up.
Hey, we got a caller from Memphis. I do love hearing from Memphis. Martha's on the phone with a story from Memphis. Hello, Martha. Hello,
I think they are
Martha.
still getting Martha through.
Okay,
Give her just
I jumped the
one moment.
gun.
That's all right. It
as
happens.
I am often want to do. By the way, May 21st is National Wait Staff Day. That's huge.
I know it. I circle. You can see my big circle on that. We don't think enough about or talk enough about the amazing contribution that all those who wait.
Servers. In fact, that reminds me of the young woman who waited on our reunion party. I mean, there were about 25 of us in separate checks.
That is a tough gig.
And I told everybody, I said, y'all be kind to this woman. This is not an easy gig. Also, National Wine Day is May 25, and International Tea Day is May 21, same day as National Waitstaff Day. So honor the wine, honor the tea, and honor the waitstaff. All right, let's go to Martha in Memphis. What's up, Martha?
Well, Malcolm, I had a tale about the Catfish Hotel that predates your experience there.
Great. Lay it on us.
All right. I went to Memphis State in the early 1950s, and Dot and Jack Hagee were there at the same time. And as you may recognize the name, they started the Catfish Hotel.
Indeed, they did. It's named after them still.
Oh, okay. Well, I was a carload of us. I can't even remember who had the car. It wasn't me. But we were heading up that way. I was actually going with a friend to Friendship, Tennessee, which is up that way somewhere. And Jack and Dot Hagee were with us, and we stopped at their families for some reason one night, and we spent it was a weekend, I'm sure. We spent the night, slept late, I guess, and the Hagees, the parents of these Jack and Dot, opened up the hotel. It was not their regular hours, and cooked the regular, well-known meal for us for lunch.
Wow.
What was the menu of the well-known meal?
Well, it was the catfish and whatever
hush
went with
puppies.
it.
But a personal, private dining experience.
Now, this is when the old hotel was there before it burned, right? And it's not the new.
Oh, yes. This was 1953, 54, something
cool.
like that.
Wow. So the
And,
Hagees.
and another thing about that meal, it was just their usual menu of the catfish. It was Mr. and Mrs. Hagee cooked it for us. And we must have been about 6 of us. We were carload. And I remember the dessert. It was kind of a spicy cake, but it had sweet potatoes in it.
That sounds delicious.
Well, it was. It was very good. Well, now that's pretty much my story.
Well,
We're so glad you called in this morning.
what a story. We are so grateful that you, A, listened to us, and B,
yes, that you're
shared
a
a story
listener.
with us.
Well, indeed, you're welcome. And I do enjoy the show.
Well, thank you so much. That is Martha from Memphis, recalling a story from the early days of the legendary Hagee's Catfish Hotel in Counce, Tennessee, on the banks of the magnificent Tennessee River. Carol, one last thing they have the most unusual coleslaw. They have these shredded cabbage and carrots in a bowl, and then a little plastic cup of what I think of as French dressing, and you mix it into your coleslaw as much as you want. At the table? Yeah, each and every person individually addresses their coleslaw, which you don't see that anywhere else.
And you and I are both very serious about coleslaw.
Oh, are you
I
kidding?
make your brother's coleslaw.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, that's it. We're going to take a break, right? When we come back, we've got a very special guest. We're going to talk about a bunch of cool stuff today. We're going to talk about Guillermo Salinas and Tessa Bennett's Just Vanilla Bake Shop here in Jackson, and all about how Guillermo came to Jackson. We're also going to talk about the Natchez Food and Wine Festival coming up, and we'll have a guest to share about that. So don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more Deep South Dining on MPB Think Radio.
At the Mississippi Arts and Entertainment Experience in Meridian, we believe in the power of the arts, storytelling, and education, just like Mississippi Public Broadcasting. MPB connects communities across the state with quality programs that inform, inspire, and engage. Their audience is loyal and appreciative of businesses that support public broadcasting, which makes underwriting on MPB a smart investment. Join us in supporting MPB. Learn more at mpbfoundation.org.
Hello, I'm Desiree Frazier, host of the award-winning news program, Mississippi Edition. We bring you conversations about the latest news from across the Magnolia State. Whether it's politics, healthcare, or education, you'll hear in-depth discussions on issues that matter to you. So join us each weekday morning at 8:30 on MPB Think Radio, or download the podcast, listen through the app, and online.
together through the years, together in the future. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Glad you're here. I love your work, as they say.
Well, I appreciate it. It takes a team to make it for sure, but we are proud of our work.
And your business, your current business, is Just Vanilla, and you're located in Banner Hall.
No, Dueling Hall.
Dueling Hall.
You said hall, and I got confused for a second. But
wrong hall.
Yeah.
Dueling Hall.
Dueling Hall.
And you're in the old kitchen that used to service the restaurant, which I think of as the auditorium, but it also had another name. But that was back in the day, and so you're open to the public. What are your hours of operation, and what that you have at Just Vanilla?
Yeah, so we're open Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay.
So what time do you get up to start baking?
Depends on the day, but I try to not get in any earlier than 3:30.
Yeah, well, baker's hours.
Yeah.
I've been very busy while y'all were talking, looking at this gorgeous tray of pastries. We have almond croissants, regular croissants. I don't know, are those like petit pain au chocolat? And what is this?
What's that beautiful thing?
So that one's a little bit a kind of a newer one. It's a traditional South American flavor. It's a guava and cheese.
Oh, wow.
Hey, so you grew up in Mexico. Tell our listeners about where you came from and how you ended up here.
So
who your people are.
I have all kinds of people. So I'm from a small town in Mexico called Ixtapa, Cihuatanejo, and it's located in the state of Guerrero. Most people don't know about it, but it is beautiful. One of the only shout-outs that we have is from the Shawshank Redemption movie. He wants to escape to beautiful beaches in Mexico called Cihuatanejo. Well, that's where I got to grow up in.
My goodness.
And so because of it, there's a lot of hotels, a lot of really good food. And so I got started in the food industry pretty early and got to work with lots of different types of chefs from France to Germany and Dutch and all this different types of influences.
You must have been really young.
I was homeschooled. We were in Mexico, and that allowed me to have a lot of extra free time. And so I would volunteer and work as interns in these different hotels and different kitchens. So I started at the age of 14.
Wow. So how'd you end up in Jackson?
In Jackson. So my sister was a dancer, and she still is a dancer, but not professionally. And she learned about the Ballet Mag program that they have on Belhaven campus. And so she knew about the school because of it and was thinking about going and doing dance. And when she was touring, I kind of looked at the department, and I had always drawn and done like sketches and things like that. I worked a lot with chocolate and done some chocolate sculptures and plenty of cakes. So I was interested in just the visual art program. And so I submitted a profile full of loose sketches, cakes, and chocolate sculptures to Bob Pennybaker. And when he saw it, he was very interested. I've never seen someone put creativity into food form in this way. So he convinced me to come to Belhaven and get into the art program.
And your first job was at La Brioche?
So shortly after moving, I think after maybe a year into Belhaven, La Brioche opened up in their Fondren location, and Alejandra and Cristina were looking for pastry people. And so me and Alejandra, we worked for about 3 years, from maybe a few months after they opened.
You know, Carol, I don't know if you know this, but La Brioche is now owned by Damien and Mary Sanders Kavicki. They just bought it last week to add to their portfolio of Howlin' Mouse and Campbell's Bakery, because it has that great catering kitchen attached to it.
And I did not know that, but I was telling Malcolm that we are so blessed to have you and people like Damien and Mary Sanders that are really the new Jackson and really doing some pretty amazing things in the city, and we are grateful. We're grateful that you're here, that you're not in some big city somewhere.
Well, you're very kind. I'm very grateful to be here in Jackson. It's outside of Mexico. It's been the place I've been the longest, and it's my second home.
Well, I loved a quote that I saw from you. You said, "What makes Jackson so fun is that you can participate harder." And that word resonated because those of us, Malcolm and I,
I've spent a hard day's night participating.
We have worked hard and participated hard and played hard, and that's what I see you guys doing.
And people see that. And we get to even having a conversation like this of like knowing Damien and just getting the local business owners, where the heartbeat's at. So it's a lot easier to get plugged in and easier to see what's needed and go for it.
So you met your wife at Belhaven.
I did.
And y'all have become a family, quite a large family.
So I have 3 little ones, Jasper, Maya, and Kimbra. So Jasper will be 5 in July, and then Kimbra's 9 months old now.
And your wife was studying dance while you were studying visual arts at Belhaven.
So she was a dance major. She got into the master's program. And she actually started, we knew about each other, and she volunteered to do figure drawing. So the first time I saw her was actually in the figure drawing class. And but she was Belhaven royalty. She because Cynthia Newland was her daughter. So we didn't.
Cynthia,
yes.
And Cynthia was chair of the dance department.
Yes. And but when she started working for La Brioche in front of the house, that's when we actually started talking, and she finally said yes, and we went on a coffee date, and the rest is history.
Well, Billy, in 2021, you appeared on Season 7 of the Food Network's Halloween Baking Championship. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, that was an experience. Very fun, very challenging. It was during the pandemic, too, so that was also fun things. But it was in a transition because I'd been working in Houston at the time at a really nice hotel. Pandemic happened, and then we decided to make a move back to Jackson and just start here with family and just kind of bear our feet down.
And your wife was in a master's program in Houston, right?
No, she was in a master's program here in Belhaven.
Okay.
And then after her master's program, we went to Houston.
Okay.
And so we came back, and then I got asked to be on the Food Network show. And so had a good bit of time. At this point, I had been out of the business for about a year or so, so I'd gone into the competition a little bit cold. But I did well. I got to the finale, and that kind of was the springboard catalyst to opening Just Vanilla.
Now, you were also involved in North Shore Specialty Coffee for a while, right?
I was. So
what part of your career was that?
So probably not quite at the beginning. So Doug Eltsroth was the founder of North Shore Coffee, and so I met him because he did the coffee for La Brioche, and he's also my father-in-law now. And so during that transition of working at La Brioche and moving to Houston, I had about a year gap of not really doing too much. And he needed help opening up a coffee bar in the Shoebird Cafe, as well as he was trying to grow his coffee business just a little bit more. So we started working together before we moved to Houston, and I got to know about coffee. He got to learn about the food industry through me. So we worked together. We found out that we worked together really well. And he still works together with me in Just Vanilla. So Tessa, Doug, and I are the trifecta of Just Vanilla.
And you're located in what was the kitchen of I can't remember the name of the restaurant. The entertainment part was called the auditorium. But anyway, but you enter now from a separate way, and you go up some stairs. So describe for our listeners kind of physically where you are and how to find you.
Yes. So it is. So Dueling Hall is a large building. It used to be a high school, I believe, or a school,
elementary
school of some form. So it is. So you can easily locate that, but because of it being a historic building, there's not a lot of signage. So if you want to look for the blackboards on the outside, but you'll see Amerigo's at the end and then Saltine at the other end. And if you're standing on Dueling Hall Avenue and you have Corner Market to your back, look straight in front, there's going to be a little awning and a blue sign with a croissant on it. And you walk through those double doors, and you're actually going to walk into a green room, and that's where the artists that play in Dueling Hall typically, hang out.
Right.
And then you'll get the smell of some freshly baked goods. You'll go up the stairs, and then you'll see a full bar. And then we have everything that we have in stock at the moment. And then behind that bar is an open plan kitchen where you can see everybody working and making the stuff.
French pastry is such an art. And these croissants, Malcolm, that you and I are...
Outstanding.
It's just unbelievable that we have this in Jackson. So what originally attracted you to French pastry? And who did you learn from? It has to be a master pastry.
I've learned from a bunch of different. So one of the he passed away a few years ago, but I did when I was 14. My parents knew a master pastry chef. Now you're talking about that. His name was Willy Bessemer, and he was Dutch. And at the time when I graduated, he had sold all of his bakeries and whatnot. But he guided me towards where to go. He said, learn from Germans, learn from French, get into if you're interested in the business, sweet floors, get into anywhere you can and watch and observe until eventually you can play around with it. So, and I've done that, and just kind of picking up different techniques from French people, German people, and putting those together, and finally being able to figure out how to make croissants, especially in humidity and hot weather. It's a lot different.
Yes.
It's a lot different. I've learned a lot from, when I was in Houston, I learned a lot from some bakers there, just because they had been dealing with the hot and humidity that much more often, and what to, but a lot of it's ingredients. A lot of it is using right butter. And
the layers in this are just amazing. And this humidity, that has to be hard.
Yes, you got to keep it between 60 and 66 degrees, the dough, the whole time.
Wow. So, hey, if you would, tell us a little bit about your nonprofit. Is it Collage?
So that is nonprofits run by my father-in-law, Doug Eltsroth.
Okay.
So when this was still Baby Just Vanilla and the coffee shop, I was kind of wearing a couple different hats. I was helping with the art nonprofit. I was helping with the coffee, and then I was selling some baked goods at the Schubert Cafe that we had and at the farmers market. And so during that time, the nonprofit, we had a space for artists to be able to, do their work. And so I helped facilitate that, as well as run a gallery at Belhaven Town Center. Since then, we've kind of moved, and Doug is still doing his music and doing a few things through the nonprofit, but full-time bakery at this point.
Great. All right, here's what's going to happen, Carol. We're going to take a break. And we're going to be joined by Lyn Jenkins from Natchez to talk about the Natchez Food and Wine 2025 Festival. And Guillermo's going to hang with us. If I understand correctly, you and Lyn have spoken about your possibly attending the Natchez Food and Wine Fest. So that's kind of cool. We'll get to hear you two talk. We'll take a break. If you want to join us, we'd love to hear from you. It's toll free. It's 1-877-672-7464, or you can shoot us an email to food@mpbonline.org. We'll take a quick break. Right back with Guillermo and Lyn Jenkins from Natchez Food and Wine Fest.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bobby Rush. As a blues man, I love Mississippi Public Broadcasting. If you support Mississippi music and their local programming, donate now, right now, and become a member today, not tomorrow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Doesn't matter how big or small, but we prefer big. Thank you very much.
Mississippi is a place of deep roots where every story matters and every voice can be heard. At MPB, we stand with our local communities, bringing you the voices of those who shape our state through local programming that reflects our culture across small towns to big cities, from the Delta to the coast. We tell the stories that define us, from the music that carries our voices to the leaders who inspire change. MPB brings you the heart of Mississippi, celebrating Mississippi one story at a time. MPB, your stories, our mission.
The Measuring Show.
Since 1970, MPB has been enriching the lives of Mississippians.
Everything we do gives us the chance to grow and learn.
With your support, we are always there whenever and wherever you need us. Together through the years, together in the future. Please consider making a donation at mpbfoundation.org. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Welcome back to Deep South Dining, the show all about the flavor of almond croissants, which I am eating as I speak.
I was just asking Guillermo if he caters and if he can order catering trays. And the answer is...
We sure can.
There you have
we
it.
Sure can.
How would people do such a thing? How do they reach you?
Best thing would be call the shop or shoot us an email. Or at this point, reach out for us on Instagram too. That's always a quick way.
Tell us where.
So Instagram is your deal.
Instagram is kind of, especially when I started at home, and Instagram was kind of our go-to place to start everything. But yeah, so we're Just Vanilla Bakes is our handle on Instagram.
Okay, great.
Do you still do farmers market?
Oh yes. I think the farmers market has a special place in my heart. I think it's a place to. Well, people can see about Jackson, and that's where I got started. And, I mean, who doesn't want to have croissants every morning at the farmer's market?
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Only a fool.
Yeah.
Okay, we want to welcome now our special guest from Natchez is with us, Lyn Jenkins. Hello, Lyn. How are you? Good morning.
I'm good. How are you?
Great.
We're great and even better. We've had a fresh-made almond croissant.
Yeah, it's a struggle over here.
And we're a little high, a little high.
So, tell us about the upcoming 2025 Natchez Food and Wine Fest. What year is this?
Absolutely. So this is the third year returning. I was involved in the festival from 2005 until 2018. It retired, and when I took on the role as the CEO for the Natchez Chamber, I decided we needed another event, another fundraiser, so I brought it back. So this will be year number 3, and everything's going great. We've sold out the first 2 years, so we have become the hottest weekend of the year. The new trend
on the hottest weekend of the year.
So
100%.
How many years before you shut it down and then reopened it? How many years did it exist?
It actually began with some chefs like in the 90s back at the Eola, and then probably around 2005 when I became involved, when I started at Dunleith, is those 13 years is really when the Friday night event took off. Mm-hmm. And then we've had some of our same staple events that we've had in the past, and I keep adding new events, taking events off. Whatever works, we'll keep going, and then we have new ideas every year. I like to switch things up.
So you invite how many chefs each year, or does the number change?
We shoot for around 30 chefs, so we'll have anywhere between 30 to 32 in the space. It's at the Natchez Convention Center. It is Friday, July the 25th. Like I said, hottest weekend of the year.
Right. But it's inside.
So we're limited. Yes, it is inside for sure. So we are limited on space. The 30 number works great. We have around 800 attendees. So I don't want to get, the chefs have to make around 700 tastings. So having 30 options actually is a pretty good bang for your buck for the price of the tickets. And then we also have our wine vendors, we have liquor vendors, and then we have craft beer that also have to fit inside the space.
Great. So if Guillermo comes over, and I understand y'all have been talking, he would be responsible to bring what? To do what?
He will be responsible to bring, if he wants to have whatever you're sampling this morning, the almond
Croissants.
croissant. Okay, perfect. Then he would literally have a bite-sized tasting. So everything is more just of a bite. So yeah, that would be 700 of those.
Well, I'm just telling you, if Guillermo comes, I would hide him away and charge a premium price. You know, it's like, you know, a bonus price to get to taste these pastries.
So the great thing is like I said, we have chefs that come everywhere from Nashville to New Orleans. We focus a lot on Mississippi just because we have such great culinary talent now in Mississippi that we like to showcase. So we have a lot of North Mississippi, Jackson, and South Mississippi chefs that come. So having the desserts with Guillermo obviously will be a really hot ticket, I can already tell you.
Some
so
would
we
say
do everything
the cherry on top.
There you go, the cherry on top, Guillermo. I like that.
Well, you know, he also makes candies. Did you know that?
Oh, we haven't even gone there, Malcolm.
Candies.
Bonbons specifically.
Bonbons, yum.
I mean, they are phenomenal.
Yeah. So
we're excited. So yeah, Chaz Lindsay attends with Polito Asturias. So Chaz actually recommended Guillermo, and so we reached out and we've connected, and I can't wait to sample and get to know him.
Do you do cooking demos also?
We have cooking demos. We tried those last year out at Churchill Variety, but that is something that I would like to get into in the future. But for the Friday night event is more showcasing the chefs and having them, because they have such a large quantity that they have to prepare. A lot of them are actually kind of working and assembling their items together. Something really cool this year, we are going to have a speakeasy inside. So we will have some chefs showcase and have like a 3-minute demo and get a sample for inside the speakeasy. So we're really excited about that.
Great. So you have, this is off topic here, but you have a new downtown business. Wyatt Waters has opened up a gallery over there.
He has. We had the grand opening a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw it on social. So you should involve him in your festival in some way.
Absolutely. Wyatt's great, and Christy is all about getting involved in Natchez. So we're really, really lucky and fortunate to have the gallery that's here in downtown.
So Guillermo, have you done food festivals, this concept? Have you done this before?
I've never done a food and wine festival, but I've done working with hotels. There's lots of festivals that come in and lots of different types of participation that involved with the kitchen staff.
So you haven't done the Jackson Food and Wine?
I haven't. I think I was still getting my feet underneath me last couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's intense. I mean, it's.
This whole business going.
Yeah. And then
so the great thing about us is coming to Natchez is we have the Friday night event, but we also do a VIP chefs after party. So that's kind of a way for the chefs to network. It is a ticketed event, and then the participants from Friday night kind of have more of a one-on-one chance to visit with the chefs. So we kind of continue the party after the party.
Yeah. Well, it's Natchez. I mean,
there's always a party in Natchez.
There's a party after every party. Every party.
You know, Malcolm, I think both of us went to the old school, the Natchez Food and Wine Festival of the early 2000s.
The early years. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's some great dinners and cooking demos and classes. So I hope you get back into the demo field.
Well, I would love to. So that's the only thing I really feel like the educational component is something that we obviously want to extend on, because we have had those in the past. It's just last year we didn't really get much participation. I had the chefs that wanted to participate, but I think the ticket goers were just kind of more worried about
they wanted drinking
and learning about it.
They wanted to drink and eat.
Yeah.
That's right.
So each year you have like an MC or a celebrity chef, or who is that this year? Is that a concept you do year after year?
It is.
Okay.
So the first year back, we had Dickie Brennan. And then last year we had our local Food Network star, Molly Robertson, and Christian Velez, who actually is from Fort Lauderdale, that were on the spring baking cook-off on Food Networks.
Mm-hmm.
So this year we have Chef Jada Cody, who's just right down the street from Baton Rouge. However, he beat Bobby Flay, and he's won a few cooking Iron Chefs on Food Network. He's wonderful. He goes and discusses the art of culinary in Louisiana, and then he travels around. So we're really excited.
And he has a book.
He does.
In fact, it's a new book, I believe.
Yeah, so Jay's been great to work with. He did a promo video that's on our Facebook and Instagram page, so we're really excited to have him.
So as the headliner, the MC, does he do a presentation?
He does not.
Mm-hmm. He just hangs out.
He gets off the hook, so he just goes around and visits with the chefs, finds out what they're doing, kind of keeps the flow. It is a 3-hour event. When you have 800 people in a room, obviously things get loud quickly when you have a lot of free samples. So he's the one that kind of keeps the concept of what we're doing continuing on. Sorry, my light just went off.
That's all right.
And
we can see you.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So
my power went out this morning at 6:10.
This is just a little automated.
So did Marissa's. Yeah.
Yep. Hey,
we were in the dark at 6:10 this morning.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Jay calls himself a cultural gastronomist.
Ooh.
Say that, Malcolm.
And, you just did.
Gastronomist, yeah, you did it.
A gastronomist. So this is officially year 3. Did I get that right?
3
of the restart.
The umbrella of the chamber. So as the chamber, obviously, we're a 501c6 nonprofit. We are membership driven and also event driven. So this has been a great fit for us. Mm-hmm. I have a really active board, so it's been great to see their enthusiasm with bringing the festival that's housed under the chamber. So people who are interested, what's the information if you want to attend, or if you want to be a vendor, or is it too late for any of all? Is it already sold out? The tickets have not sold out. So the tickets are on sale. We still have them available on www.natchezfoodandwine.com. And also you can follow us on our Facebook page and Instagram for all of the events. So the Friday night is our largest event, like we were talking about, the tastings along the river. But we do have events that do sell out quickly. We have a wine and cheese with St. James Cheese on Saturday at the Castle. We have 2 mixologies at Smoots, which is a fun little blues bar that's right here downtown. At our Natchez Brewing Company, we have a bocce and beer event with all of our craft beers. We have 3 dinners, one at Dunleith, which is going to be bringing back the historic Invitation to the Natchez Table. We have a food as art dinner at Conde Gallery downtown, and a fun Boots Beer and Booze dinner at Churchill Variety out in Churchill, which is Tate Taylor and John Norris's restaurant. And then we have a new event called Bourbon and Blues at Big Money Inn, which is also a new venue that's downtown. So we're really excited. So it'll be tastings of bourbon with small bites. Wow. We need to get Guillermo in on the food as art piece. As that is absolutely. Yeah, that would be a good fit. That would, I can run your event, from long distance here. But no, all right, Malcolm will just come on down. No, so it's not just a weekend; it's many days, right? How many days in totality? Well, it's Friday and Saturday. Friday and Saturday. 25, 26 of July, right? Correct. Okay, and there's still plenty of tickets available. There are still plenty of tickets. And about 30 chefs, and you named all the dinners and all of the parties and events. It sounds like a massive schedule. Carol will have to go down. It's great. It's to the hottest event on the hottest day of the year. It is inside, so. Yeah. Well, I mean, the purpose obviously is tourism driven. So we have around 75% of the attendees. We have a lot of locals that obviously love this weekend also. But the idea, obviously, is bring the head on beds and the revenue to our downtown merchants and restaurants when otherwise it would be a slow time of year.
And how many people approximately attend, or do you project will attend this year?
So the Friday night, like I said, is around 800. And then with the other events, I probably would say around 1,000 once you have people that pick and choose the events they'd like to go to.
Great. And again, the website and where people can get information?
www.natchezfoodandwine.com. And we're on social media as well.
All right. That's Lyn Jenkins. Go ahead, Carol.
Yeah, and I want Guillermo to get the last word on his social media presence.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you can find us online. So you have justvanillaBakes.com as well as our Instagram at justvanillaBakes.
Okay, and tell us about the farmers market. You're there on Saturday mornings?
Every Saturday morning, farmers market opens at 8, and so we're there until sell out. So
and when is sell out generally?
Depends on the week. Sometimes we're there, we're sell out by 8 a.m., and sometimes we're there until 1.
You mean you start at 8 and you sell out immediately?
By 10, yeah. Sometimes that's happened a couple of times, but yeah.
I would think the market would be going strong about now with all the summer vegetables.
We're about to start getting into the sellout points with all the fresh produce about to come in. I think once blueberry season starts, I feel like that's the start
that's the
of
trigger.
It's nonstop.
And so who are the other long-term vendors that you love seeing? I mean, like you.
Yeah, I mean, I think Cooper's has been there for forever.
They're the meat. Is Cooper's the meat purveyor?
I believe so. And then Cooper's Farms, and then
they're vegetable produce.
They're vegetables, okay. And then Livingston is the meats. They've been there forever. Honey People, they've been there forever. I also know them more by name than the.
Any coffee people?
Coffee People, I actually we're kind of filling that hole a little bit right now because there was a lack of coffee at the moment. It was sad to see Sunflower that it was there for a long time.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Sunflower Bakery. Is it gone away?
It's gone away, but I've been talking to Megan from Bread and Batter that she's been kind of now at this point seniored into kind of been in there for a long time, seeing how we can help her out. And getting some more baked goods. But we are selling Camper Van Coffee, which they're a local single roast company in Madison. And she does, Diana and John, they do phenomenal coffee.
Fantastic.
All right, thanks so much, Guillermo, for being here. Lyn, thank you so much for sharing about the Natchez Food and Wine Festival coming up on 25-26 of July. And Carol?
Mal?
That's it for us today. Our show is produced by Mississippi Public Broadcasting's Think Radio, and we are funded by the generous contributions from listeners like yourself. Our show is produced by Marissa Vaughn for our guest Guillermo Salinas and Lyn Jenkins from Natchez, and my co-host Carol Palmer. I'm Mal White saying stay tuned for Everyday Tech at 10 o'clock and Southern Remedy at 11. And please join us next Monday, every Monday, and every Sunday at 9 a.m. in the morning for more Deep South Dining heard exclusively on MPB Think Radio.